Only one group of people you want to compare yourself to, and that's the world class. The best of the best. The winners, the champions. How do you stack up against them? I mean, really. Check your ego at the door and leave delusion behind. How good are you compared to the best in the world at what you do? It's a completely different question, right? The purpose of this question is not to demotivate anyone. The purpose is to get into objective reality so you know where you stand and what it's going to take to get world-class results. Look, the way I see it, I can either stand here week after week and pump you up with motivational platitudes and catchy slogans, or we can get real and dig into what great performers really do on the street every day in the real world that makes them champions. I mean, Disneyland is fine for kids, but if you're going to get world-class results, we have to tell it like it really is, not how we wish it was. I'll look forward to the day when the world is a kinder, gentler place and all it takes is a positive attitude to get ahead. But until then, we're going to face reality head on and talk about how you can gain a competitive advantage by becoming more mentally tough. I hope that's okay with you. You know, I really struggled with the good, very good, great concept for a long time. I grew up on the national junior tennis circuit, and at one point I was among the best players for my age in the world. So if you would have come up to me on the street back then and asked me if I was a great tennis player, I might have said yes because I was comparing myself to the average person who played tennis. So who are you comparing yourself to? Are you setting yourself for mediocrity by comparing yourself to the middle-class performer? If so, stick around. You'll learn how to raise your game before others figure out you're not as great as they thought. So I got a call from my coach one day. I was about 15 years old, living in Chicago. He said, "Steve, I got to ask you a question. Who's the greatest tennis player in the world?" And I said, "Well, that's easy, Coach. Bjorn Borg. Greatest tennis player in the world, greatest tennis player of all time, Bjorn Borg." He said, yeah, that's what I thought you'd say. How would you like to play against him in a half an hour?" I said, "What?" He said, "Yeah, he's supposed to play an exhibition against Rod Laver, but Laver's stuck in the Denver airport, and the committee voted on you. If you can be in downtown Chicago in a half an hour, you can play against Bjorn Borg." So there I am, standing in the locker room by myself, waiting for Bjorn Borg to walk in. He was late coming from O'Hare. Finally, he walks in. We talk for a few seconds. Really nice guy. So we walk out in the court, and there are 400 members of the press there. We start warming up, and the chair umpire starts to announce the match. He says, "Ladies and gentlemen, on my left, he's won 57 junior titles. He's the current point leader of the Chicago Grand Prix. Please welcome from Elk Grove, Illinois, Steve Siebold. On my right, he's won 5 Wimbledons in a row. He's won 6 French Opens. He's currently ranked number 1 in the world and widely considered the greatest tennis player of all time. Please welcome from Stockholm, Sweden, the great Bjorn Borg." Mr. Siebold's won the toss and elected to serve. Players ready? Play. My friends used to ask me all the time, "What were you thinking when you're about to serve to the greatest tennis player in the world?" And the truth is, I wasn't thinking about anything. I felt good. I really did. So I walked up to the line, bounced the ball, and got ready to serve. I looked at the linesman. He gave me the nod, and I felt